Welcome to Red V TV, supported by Chapel House Cars for the 2025 season. As we continue our build-up to Saints 2025 Betfred Super League campaign. And Kevin, with 26 days to go, it's one of Saints' brightest young talents.
It is. It's our number 26. It's Harry Robertson. And Harry is sponsored by ASW Solicitors.
ASW Solicitors, been a huge backer of the club in recent years, as well as some of our player sponsors. Harry Robertson this year, they're also the sponsor of Morgan Knowles' testimonial. I've seen them on the front of his testimonial jersey. And also sponsoring Saints 2026 Academy Tour.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great work by the guys at ASW, getting behind the club, supporting them as much as they can. Wonderful stuff. Well done.
Yeah, ASW solicitors pride themselves on being a specialist firm assisting clients with a range of corporate and personal disputes, as well as advising on various areas of tax-based litigation. Based in the historical Baltic Triangle in Liverpool, they are one of the vibrant new businesses in what has been described as the city's creative playground.
Very good.
Now, that's one creative playground. We've got another one at the Totally Wicked Stadium this season, we hope.
Yeah,
Harry Robertson might
that
be
is.
one of those stars, Kev.
Yeah, it's something that you want to see Harry Robertson go out there, have fun playing rugby, play a little bit off the cuff as he did at times last year. Yeah, let's hope that he can have hope that he can build on his 2024 start.
Was he one of Saints' brightest stars last season and one of the main positives to come out? I know we'll talk about Noah in a few days' time, but in terms of backs, obviously he comes into the side, he has that game against Wigan away, and you just think this is a player who could be one of Saints' stars for the next 10 years if he progresses like we hope he will. But it's still a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah, it is still early days. He'll have taken a lot of lessons out of 2024, and hopefully he can learn from them because there's no point going out there and having good and bad times as well. There were a couple of mistakes which he's still allowed to make this season, this coming season. He was allowed to make last year. It's all part of the learning curve. But he, you've got to expect that from a young lad, haven't you? You can't just expect him to come in and be the polished article. However, was he one of Saints' bright stars? Absolutely. The way that he played off the cuff, the way that he didn't let things phase him, and like I think about one, I think there was a dropped ball against Huddersfield which knocked him off his feet. He then went and scored a try in that game, and that didn't just equal it out. You could see the confidence he got from that. And hopefully he can take moments like that, learn from the bad, learn from the good, and continue his growth as a player.
I think where Harry will most benefit this season is the fact that we've brought in Tristan Saylor. We've we've brought in other players, which will allow Jack Wellesby to play at fullback. We've got wingers, so he's not going to be forced out onto the wing to get to be made to play there. His development is going to benefit the fact that he doesn't have to play in terms of we rely on him. We can drop him
Yeah.
in at opportune moments and surround him, you hope, with stars. Whereas last season it was almost like we have to play you, we've got to play you. I know we put on the slide and it's what it says on the website, Saints website in his profile that he's a fullback or halfback. But I think there is opportunity this year for him to get games as and when across the entire back line. I wouldn't be surprised to see him line up at right centre quite a bit as well.
But you say that I had a little look at Jack Wellesby's first couple of seasons, first 55 appearances for Jack Wellesby, 14 at fullback, 8 on the wing, 16 at centre, 6 in the halves, 11 on the interchange. And he did have one non-playing sub, I think at Wakefield away, where he learned his trade by going across the different positions. You're right. Hopefully we've got that big of a squad that we're not forced into just shoehorning him into a position, but he can go out there when necessary and hopefully give lads a little bit of time off. So we're not pushing Percy through every game. We're not pushing Connie through every game. There are games that you can put Harry in and be confident in his abilities to because he's played centre as well, but be confident in his abilities to step up and do well enough to hold that shirt in the centres. I think that it was a great part of Jack Wellesby's development that he played in so many different positions, learned where his winger should be for a centre, learned where a centre plays and wants his winger to be, learned all the stuff from being a fullback and a halfback in the first team environment. I expect the same to be said for Harry this year. Is he going to be first choice fullback? Obviously not. Is he going to be first choice halfback? Obviously not. And people call for him. Where's he going to play? Where's he going to play? It's part of his development. It is all part of his development. You can't expect these lads just to come in and play after making 9 appearances, make 27. Again, look at Jack Wellesby. 11 in 2019, 17 in 2020, 26 appearances in 2021. It's building them, getting them used to the first team. And once they're used to the first team and used to the rigours, you'll know if they're good enough and you'll know where it's best to deploy.
Yeah, I think in 2024 he made 9 appearances because we needed him to play
Yeah.
9 times. Whereas you hope, fingers crossed, touch wood, with a fit squad. For me this season, if he makes 12 to 15 appearances, but they are done with his development purely in mind, I think that'll be a really good year for Harry and he'll really benefit from it.
Yeah, I think a good year for Harry is, for me, just taking, and I've said this about all the young lads, just taking as much as you can off the players around you. And if you're asked to go out there and do a job, take every single lesson you can from that. Because it's all very well, you can make mistakes, absolutely fine. If you don't learn from them mistakes, quickly there'll be someone who overtakes you. If you don't push on, there'll be someone who overtakes you. We speak about it all the time. I don't expect that to be the case with Harry. But he just needs to take the good times, take the bad times, and get as much out of it, as much knowledge as he can out of those moments, them situations that he finds himself in, to make himself a first team player in the next couple of years. I don't mean a first team squad player. I mean a first team. You have to have Harry Robertson in your team player.
Does the emergence of George Whitby as a young option in the halves mean you're less likely to see Harry get those games there? You are more likely to see him at centre, at full back at times. Whereas if you're going to give Johnny Lomax a break, that's where you might slot George in there.
Well, I'd say so just because of George probably played a bit more seven, and Johnny being the seven this year. Whether they complement each other, slightly different builds, slightly different games. As I say, and I will always say, I'm not professing to know everything about George Whitby's game. So it'd be interesting to see in the future, would they kind of pair up together? Have they ever paired up together? Have they played in that partnership? Yeah, I'd expect to see Harry kind of covering a lot of the back line and hopefully um, saving us a job of having to recruit, depending on how our finances go and obviously the situation, the currently fluid situation as we film in Super League with one of the clubs.
Okay, that is Harry Robertson covered for the year, progressing up the squad numbers. And tomorrow we will also be progressing up the squad numbers as we hit the top 25. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Catch you tomorrow.